Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
There's few things in this world that just fill everybody with joy, right? One of which is a puppy.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love puppies?
Oh, so cute. They always smell so good too.
Yeah, like Doritos?
Yeah, yes. Like that
Can't be right.
No,
yeah,
Doritos.
No, but my dog Misha smelt like that all the way through her life.
Wow.
Yeah, so does my dog.
Corn
Bentley.
chips.
Yeah.
Salty
Cheesy.
corn
Next
chips.
time you're over, put a paw in your nose.
yeah,
give it a
I'll
whiff.
sniff.
I'll give it a whirl.
But yeah,
see,
puppy,
see if it goes well with some salsa.
yeah, puppy smell is great though.
But a mate of mine recently got a new puppy. He's this cute little thing, and he goes by the name of Wilson.
What type of dog is it?
That's a great question.
Like big,
It's-
small?
Like maybe it looks a bit like a cavoodle-y sort of
okay,
kind of
right,
thing. Tiny. And, one thing about puppies is they love to play. They have energy like a kindergartner, just energy for days, and they can and will play with absolutely anything they can get a hold of. Mm-hmm. Right, so I went over to his on Saturday, and we got on the Happy Waters, and there's a few of us there, and a couple of us ended up crashing. And the next morning, I wake up, and I'm getting dressed. I'm looking for my socks, and I find one of them hanging in the mouth of Wilson.
Oh, Wilson's gone
Yeah.
on a field day.
Love
Now-
the socks.
Wilson is just sitting there, staring me down, like he knows it's my sock.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, and I'm like, okay, come here, and then starts running away from me. I chase this dog into the backyard. He's doing zoomies with my sock. Finally, I get the sock out of his mouth. It's wet, it's soggy, and there's holes all throughout it.
Is everyone asleep while you're trying to apprehend this dog?
No. Everyone's up. Everyone's woken up at this point. But I think, whatever. It's just a sock. What's a sock worth? Nothing. Then my other mate, James, wakes up. He comes out, strolls out with one Birkenstock on. He's like, has anyone seen my other Birkenstock?
Yeah.
And then our mate, Lockie, who is the owner here of the house and the puppy, says, yeah, mate, I've got the other Birkenstock.
Oh no.
He goes, oh, can I have it? He's like, you're not going to like this. He hands the Birkenstock back, and the strap that goes over, like the middle strap, has been chewed completely off.
Oh
Wow.
no.
And Birkenstocks as well. They're a pretty penny, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
They're decently priced.
I reckon
about
they're a couple
100.
hundred.
Well, yeah, they're
Almost.
They're about $130, or they can go up to $200 depending if they're leather. Yeah, it's expensive.
It's an expensive thing to chew through, and he's sort of looking at the boat. He's like, oh, man, well, that sucks. But
So
nothing
what
a bit of duct tape won't fix, I suppose.
Oh.
What was James's reaction? I mean, he's just bought these brand new Birkenstocks. They've
Yeah,
been chewed.
I mean, like I said, this sucks. There was
Yeah,
nothing really
yeah,
you
you
could say.
can't-
I
you
mean,
can't
it's
really
You're not going to,
anything.
like, go and kick the cavoodle. You know what I mean? Like, it's this
Lockie,
gorgeous little puppy.
Lockie, I think your puppy should be sent to the farm.
send him to the pound.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Dogs do get into some things like that, don't they?
What did the dog chew, Adelaide?
We got a text in here. Someone said their dog chewed through the Lego set.
Oh,
Not good.
that's-
Someone
yeah.
else said dog. I didn't know someone owned Cujo over here because they said my dog chewed through my front door.
Far out. Hounding him.
That dog's on steroids.
Hey, we're going to go over to the phone lines. We've got Justin. Justin, mate, what did the dog chew?
My brand new couch.
Oh, no.
Leather couch or what was the go?
Suede.
No, it was just a nice couch, few recliners and all that. And yeah, first time I decided to leave the puppy at home, come home to a snowstorm.
Justin, do you reckon it was a power move from the puppy?
Don't leave me again.
I think it was, out of spite. Leave me at home, I'll teach you a lesson.
So, did you get the couch fixed or a whole new couch? Or are you just sitting
A whole
on...
new couch.
Okay.
Oh,
It was
bugger.
an insurance job.
Yeah.
She was, no coming back from it.
No good, Justin.
That's no good. Sorry to hear, Justin. Thanks for getting involved, mate. We're going to go to Glenn in Happy Valley. Glenn, what did the dog chew?
It's a long list.
Yeah.
Probably 6 or 7 TV remotes.
Wow.
Jeez.
Probably half a dozen of my kids' toys. They take them and run around the house with them and destroy them.
Yeah, jeez.
Pairs of thongs.
Thongs.
Numerous pairs of socks.
Yeah, they love socks.
Yep, I would say probably 3 or 4 soccer balls. They take them and run away. And
This is a monster.
What type of dog is this, Glenn?
so his name's he's a Lagotto. So it's an Italian. He's an Italian water and truffle dog.
Yeah, right.
God.
But he's not eating any truffles.
Yeah. He's eating everything he can get his bloody hands on. But yeah, it's not what he's actually meant to be eating.
Jeez, no good. Thanks for getting involved, Glenn. We're going to go to Jake in Valley View. Hey, Jake, what did the dog chew?
Yeah, hey guys. So my mum, she's been to the dentist, right? And she's got a custom retainer, for teeth.
A retainer?
And oh my goodness, the dog just chewed through the retainer. $150 custom moulded retainer for a teeth.
Oof.
I was going to say, yeah, dentist mouth stuff, like, be expensive ads to replace, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then my mum's trying to go through the insurance and, like $600 premium, so she ended up having to buy it out of pocket. And, it was a bit of it was annoying because what happened was we were trying to convince Mum and Dad to get the dog in the first place. And they were like, no, it's going to choose for everything. We're like, no, we'll look after it. Sure enough, and so she comes home through the retainer. So,
Hey, Jake, I got to ask, before replacing the retainer, did your mum try using it again, or was it ruined?
oh, mate, you should have seen it. It was like, our retainers are meant to not have holes in them. I reckon there was a hole in every tooth fly. It was like, it's like the dog tried to make it its own mouth.
Good gear.
Good on you, Jake. Hey, we got Sharon on the line. Sharon, what did the dog chew?
Hey, so I used to work with someone who had the standard poodles, the really big ones.
Yeah.
And they couldn't leave their clothes around because they'd eat the crutches out of the knickers, but leave the actual knickers. They just eat the crutch.
Yeah, they're
kind of
gross
sick dog
like
is
that,
this?
man. It's...
Yeah, a bit of a
But it
fiend.
gets better. So we're sitting in the sunshine once, and the lady says, "What's that coming out of her ass?" And she started pulling something out of the dog's
No
bum.
way.
And honestly, it came out like the clown
Sharon.
tissues.
Oh, they just
Kept pulling out.
never stops.
Sharon, you've just ruined so many breakfasts in Adelaide.
Amazing.
Thanks for getting involved. Hey, Jake, what did the dog chew, mate?
Yeah, g'day, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good, mate. And yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, he ate the bedside tables, corner of the walls, and the outdoor steps.
Wow, so is this, have any of these been repaired, or can you still see the notch marks out of it?
Let's just say we sold the house and then
yeah.
someone else just fixed
Just
it.
laid low for a bit.
Jake,
Yeah,
what type of dog is this one, Jake?
German Shepherd,
Okay, and what's its name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. I feel like Jimmy is greeting Jake on its hind legs when he gets home. Like, he's the boss of that house.
I think he does that to everyone.
Get me a beer, Jake.
Pretty cool.
Good on you. Thanks for getting involved. We got Lana from North Haven. Lana, let's wrap things up. What did the dog chew?
Hey people, how you going this morning?
Very
good. And
Good,
yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. So my son used to go to school with Liam and Callum, and he, as typical, the dog was about 12 months old, and my son wouldn't pay attention to him. He was doing too much homework. So the dog actually ate his homework assignment on the paper, ate the paper.
What?
And then, and then he pissed on his laptop, and then he just ran out the bedroom like a boss.
So just like a rampage in the room. It's crazy when you actually realise that he could have used the excuse the dog ate my homework, but it's another level to be like, he also pissed on the laptop.
I've got no copies.
He had to go to school the next day and tell the homeroom teacher, and she wasn't happy, and she really didn't believe it. So then I had to actually tell her that it had happened.
Yeah,
so it was hilarious.
Smell the laptop. See for yourself.
Yeah, that's it. That's what my boy said.
First rule of the Davo, Tom and Callum podcast is you don't talk about the Davo, Tom and Callum podcast. The second rule of the Davo, Tom and Callum podcast is you don't talk about the Davo, Tom and Callum podcast.
If you're not a fan of exercise and, you kind of hate it, you don't like doing the physical stuff, there's a new alternative to lose a little bit of fat.
Gyms hate this guy.
My face plastered on every website. But
You've got your own Instagram where you're selling
hacks.
all your classes.
Gym hacks.
But also, this is perfect for you. You love a shortcut in life.
Definitely. I love a little loophole, so this is very good. But it does take away the need to do exercise a little bit. And a new study has come out to test how many calories you actually lose when you watch a horror movie.
What?
Right.
I didn't even think you'd lose any.
You do.
Are
do.
you
And-
smashing popcorn?
Yeah, I guess it depending on what you're eating at the time of the movie, it would probably even out.
Maybe it depends how many jump scares there are and how much popcorn you lose in a horror movie compared to a comedy.
No, so it's actually the study pretty much wrapped up a bunch of heart rate monitors and things like that, oxygen tests to see, what the oxygen intake is, what the carbon dioxide out is over 10 popular horror movies.
Okay.
To see which ones actually burn the most fat.
All right. Well, this is a very exciting time to be alive, isn't it? If you
yeah.
love horror movies, this weekend you could be on a
Yeah,
marathon.
you could be jacked.
Ooh.
But on average, there are about 150 calories you'll lose during a horror movie just due to your heart rate going and expelling oxygen,
Yeah,
things
wow.
like that. But the movie that expels the most fat is The Shining.
The
at
Shining?
184 calories. And then you got
Really?
Jaws at 161 and The Exorcist at 158.
See, I feel like these three movies just listed, obviously classics, but a little outdated now. I wouldn't say they're overly scary.
Yeah, I'd say something maybe like Black Phone, was it?
Yeah,
That one that came out earlier this year, that was pretty scary.
That one will lose a bit of fat.
Even like the first Conjuring or like Annabelle Creation
Yes.
when they first came out.
Well, interesting, yeah. These are kind of old school ones. Maybe it was tested on older people. But yeah, those are the top three that will actually lose fat in your body. But if you're wondering what 150 calories is in terms of a snack, if you were to eat it and then you want to lose it at a horror movie, about 4 cups of popcorn. So if you eat 4 cups of popcorn, then you watch that horror movie, you're getting rid of that popcorn. Either that or half a sandwich with a nice protein in it, like turkey. Yeah. if you find yourself eating one of those, just go home and watch a horror movie. You will burn it off.
Yeah. So you're telling me I can have a whole turkey club and
I'm not saying a whole turkey club, I'm saying half a turkey club.
I'm saying if I have a whole turkey club though, by the end of the horror movie it's like I only ate half.
Yeah, I guess you could watch the horror movie twice maybe.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
So over the weekend, I got to spend some time with my teeny tiny bestie pugs. You know, life is busy, so when we catch up, it's always a chatting marathon. There's an agenda involved. We've got to go through each point.
An
get through it.
itinerary.
Literally, because it's a lot to take in one go.
11:15 tea break.
Literally. You've got to schedule these things in or else you just get lost in the moment, you know? But she was telling me about an experience she had recently. She was going to the bottle shop to buy some drinks for her work.
Yep.
And she walks in there and she gets to the counter. She's got a bunch of, beer and seltzers, whatever. And she gets to the counter and the lady says, "Can I have some ID?"
Yeah, okay.
And Pug sort of like has a little giggle because, look, she's 36.
It's crazy, isn't it? And do you feel like at 36 it's because I feel like I'd no matter what take it as a compliment to get asked for ID at that age, but is there a part of her, do you think, doesn't take it as a compliment?
Well, I think
that's
she's...
to be like, do you think I look, like a kid? Like,
Nah.
it's not, that flattering?
No. As a lady, you're always flattered, but it is also a little bit annoying because you're thinking, well, I'm 36, like, settle down. So she passes over her phone because her ID's on her phone.
Yeah.
And the lady looks at it, looks at her, looks at the phone, looks at her.
Wow, so the full inspection.
Yeah. And then she picks up her phone because you know how on the apps you can shake it to
shake
give
it.
the time and
Yeah.
date. So she looks at her, giving her a stare in the eye, shakes it real aggressively.
I've finally caught you, McLovin.
and then goes, "Oh, okay, no worries. Proceed. Here's your
Right.
beverages."
Yeah.
36. Now, look, she's a tidy little number. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. And I don't blame her for being carded because, like I said, she's teeny tiny as well. She's 5'0".
Yeah,
But
right.
that's great, isn't it? 36 and still getting carded. It'd be
Yeah.
one of the more older ones for sure.
I think I've found when I've gone out with younger people, and obviously, you guys will get carded wherever we go, and then sometimes I see the security guard giving me a pity, like... Can I see your ID too? And I always respond with, oh, of course. Thank you so
Makes
much.
me feel young again.
Yeah.
Well, my sister's 27 and she still gets carded pretty regularly. Like,
Yeah, wow.
if we go to the bottle shop together, she'll get carded and I won't. And I'm like 4 years younger.
Yeah, okay, right.
There's
It's all
a-
that facial hair.
Yeah, the bum fluff. It does wonders.
There's a girl at work here, and it wasn't a bottle shop or anything, but she had to get in line at the airport for, just to hop on the plane. But they had a separate line for under 15-year-olds.
Yeah, if you weren't accompanied by a parent
Yeah.
and she was with her
Yeah.
brother, her younger brother.
Yeah, and they insisted that she gets her ID checked and to go in the under 15 line, but she was 23 years old.
Wow.
They thought she might have been 14. Once again, quite a small girl, not very,
Yeah.
not much height. Does have young features as well. But I guess it is a compliment. Once you're like, I guess 22 and over, it becomes a compliment. Before that, you're like, what? What do you mean I don't look over 18?
Yeah, true though. But this is a Fresh Fam's chance to brag, I'd say.
How old were you when you were asked for ID, Adelaide? We're looking for the oldest person who's been carded. Zoe from Ranella has texted in saying, my husband was carded last month in Hawaii. He's 39, went to buy a beer at the Target there and was carded. He left his passport in the hotel because he hasn't been carded in over 20 years and so couldn't buy his beer.
That's devastating.
That is absolutely devastating.
He's just kicked out the front to hang with the loitering teenagers.
Yeah, can you guys buy me some beer?
We got another one here. It says, I turned 36 this year and I've only just stopped getting carded. It actually breaks my heart in half when they don't ask me for ID. I understand it. I feel it. I've been there.
Hey, we're going to go straight to the phone lines here. We got Jade in Manapara. Jade, how old were you when you got carded?
I was 38.
38.
Oh, Jade, you are a hot little number, aren't you?
No, I'm actually not.
Oh, you are.
Don't say
I'm sure
that.
you are.
It was twice in 2 weeks, and I was absolutely shocked. I looked at these people like, what? I'm 38.
Now, Jade, twice in
And
2 weeks. Was it at the same place or different places?
No, it wasn't. Different places, yeah.
Were you wearing an outfit that maybe made you look younger, like overalls or...
No, not at all. I think I went there after work.
Well, wearing a hat with the spinner propeller on it.
Not quite.
Got your yo-yo as you walk in.
Skateboard under your arm.
Jeez, hey, thanks for getting involved, Jade. 38's going to be tough to beat, but we
Hot
got
as hell.
Donna from Rose Park. Donna, how old were you when you got carded?
Okay, so 39.
39.
Wow, she is hot as hell.
And what happened? Were you going into a nightclub? Were you buying alcohol?
Yes, I was, my girlfriend and I, a very, very rare night out with no kids, crazy.
Yep.
Get to a very popular, so I've been told, a very popular gay bar in Adelaide, and he said, can we get your IDs? And I just looked at him and I started laughing, and he's like, no, I need your ID. And I just said, well, what, the wrinkles didn't give it away?
And he said, what wrinkles, Donna?
No, well, that's what you pay for, right?
Hey. I want to know, Donna, what moisturiser are you using? I could use some around me crow's feet.
Yes, well, it's called Botox, and it's just fine.
It's a more expensive moisturiser.
All right, damn it.
Thanks for getting involved, Donna. We got Paula in Ashton. Paula, how old were you when you got carded?
Yeah, look, I recently went to the bottle shop, so I'm 41. I've only just turned 42. Yeah, and they asked for ID. I'm like, I don't look young. I've got a few greys in the front. I look like, I don't know, an older person. I've got the glasses. I've got everything. So I was really quite surprised when they asked for ID. I don't know how they see that I'm younger than 18.
Maybe they think you're going for like the silver fox look and the greys are there on purpose.
It's a toner.
Yeah, well, some people can pull that off and manage to look really classy with the platinum blonde. Yeah, that's not me.
Oh,
Were
Paula.
were you pretty happy with yourself cracking the 40 mark, still getting ID'd?
Yeah, I did go home and laugh about it, but yeah, I can't see it really.
Oh, it's a
come on,
good
Paula.
ruffle of the feathers, mate. I think it's great.
Don't put yourself down. I'm sure you look fantastic. We're going to go to Michael in Underdale. Michael, let's wrap things up, mate. How old were you when you were carded?
At the time, I was 53. I'm 54 now.
50s.
Jeez. Michael, what are you, George Clooney?
Where were you going?
We were out at Darwin a couple of weeks ago on holidays, and I went to get some drinks for myself and my wife, and yeah, they asked for my ID. I said, why? I said, can't you see that I'm actually old enough to drink? She goes, no. She said, it's our policy, you have to show your ID to buy a drink.
Wow, do you get the young compliment from people a lot?
Well, I drink a lot of Nespresso, so maybe it is a Geordie thing. I don't know.
That's the secret fountain of youth, the coffee.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sure, maybe they
I couldn't believe it.
Maybe they were carding you to see if you were too old to be there.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe they were trying to get my ID to see if it was my time to go back to the nursing home. I don't know.
Bless you.
Oh, podcast my podcast. Oh, podcast my podcast. Oh, podcast my podcast.
Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
As someone who constantly runs late in life, I have used all the excuses. Some true, some have a little bit of mayo on it. You know how it goes.
Standard.
Actually, when it's gotten to the point now in life where I'm like, look, I'm going to be late because of who I am as a person, and I'm so sorry.
Unfortunately, that's an excuse that doesn't fare very well with the boss. If you're like, this is just who I am.
As you also would know, Callum.
Well, it's not one that can be done, you know.
Yeah, look, we're both as bad as each other. It's fine.
Pretty much.
Well, boys, a woman in Tasmania has the ultimate excuses, and you really, really couldn't make this stuff up. Her name's Amber Harris, and she woke up at 6:20 in the morning to the sounds of someone breaking into her car. So she's looked out of her window. Turns out it's not a burglar, but it's Neil, the 600-kilo seal. Now, you know I'm delighted with this story.
Yeah. So who named this seal Neil? That's the first thing we need. Once you name him, you can't get rid of him.
Well, this is the thing. He is a known pest around these parts in Tassie.
Don't feed him and don't name him.
Yeah.
Otherwise they will come back. Was he using a crowbar to get in the car?
No, he wasn't trying to break...
Is Neil like really
Picking
sophisticated?
the lock? Yeah.
No, he's not actually. What he did was he was hanging out by the car and he's staring up at Amber in her room, and he gives her a wink and then decides to go into the most beautiful sleep of all time. He starts napping, blocking her ability to get into her car and drive to work. Okay. So she's had to call the boss and say, look, mate, I can't get there because Neil, the 600-kilo seal, is out the front by my car and I cannot leave. Now, as I said, he's a known pest around this place, and apparently he's been hanging around the land. He's got his own Instagram page, FYI.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And he sleeps for only 2 hours a day, but unfortunately for Amber, the 2 hours have been right in front of her car, so she can't go to work.
At least the fact that he's got an Instagram page adds legitimacy to it all, that the boss would believe it. You know, at least you can refer to pictures and say, no, he actually does exist.
You could look through his Instagram and see the picture of him planking in front of the car.
Well, I don't think he's planking. The thing is with Neil is that the big draw point about Neil is his 600-kilo weight, which has been highlighted throughout his whole Instagram page and all his photos. He's just constantly being fat-shamed.
Can you imagine accidentally backing over him? You get bogged. You wouldn't be able to leave, eh?
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
A really interesting article has come out to describe weddings, and I guess, you know, coming around summer and the weather is getting really nice, weddings are a big hit around this time.
Oh yeah, it's wedding season, baby. There's one every weekend, no doubt.
Yes, that's it. However, this article is going into how successful a marriage will actually be based on how much money you're spending not only in your wedding, but your engagement rings, your wedding rings. And I've sort of found in the study that the more money you spend on these things, the less likely your relationship is going to last.
Oh. Not ideal, because I guess when you are spending that much money, you're putting a lot of hope and trust in that this is going to work out. Oh, and then a divorce itself is so expensive.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. So what's the science behind this one?
So actually, unlike a few of the articles that circulate through here where it's just some random TikToker who's given their 2 cents, this has come from a few economic experts.
Oh.
These professors have come out and done a full survey in America with 3,000 people questioned, and to see what has happened over their time in their relationship and whether they're still together based on how much money they spend on these things.
Okay, do you have some stats for us?
Yeah, so pretty much if you're spending around $30,000 or more upwards, Australian, on your wedding, you're 3.5 more times likely to get divorced than if you're spending between 7,000 to about 15.
See, I read on the news yesterday that the average Aussie wedding is at $33,000.
Oh God!
So if
Oh no!
Buy these stats. If you're spending over $30,000 on your wedding, you're pretty likely it might not work out because you're forking over this money. You're hoping something good's going to come out of it.
Yeah,
instead of spending less.
Sorry, babe. I just want this marriage to work out. $1,000 is all you're getting.
Hey, you know what's great about this article though is that if you really want to impress your spouse and say, "Hey, look, this is how much I love you. I love you so much that this is going to work out. I'm going to spend $1,000." Did you hear the article?
I can't imagine many people being happy with that.
The less I spend, the more this will work out. But another thing that has
doing
come
it for
about,
us.
Yeah.
Cheapskates everywhere, licking their lips.
Yeah, literally. But another thing that has come out with the article as well is that spending more money on your honeymoon as opposed to the actual wedding itself has been seen to look at a lower chance of divorce as well.
Yeah,
okay,
righto.
yeah. So, yeah, it's almost like saying keeping up appearances is literally doing that, by spending all this money on the ring and the wedding. It's saying, you're doing that for the show, whereas a honeymoon's obviously for yourselves. Okay, right. That's interesting.
Yeah, and same goes with the wedding rings, I guess. If you're trying to impress your friends and, you want to show off the rings and say, hey, look at this awesome ring I got. The cheaper the ring, the more likely you're together.
What would you guys rather, like a more expensive wedding or more money spent on your honeymoon?
Oh, honeymoon.
Honeymoon for sure.
100%.
Hit up Hawaii.
Get me away from these people. Look, we're going to open up the phone lines here. We want to ask how much did you spend on the ring? And if it was a lot of money, are you still together, or has this expert is he onto something?
You can remain anonymous. So it's we understand like talking finances can be a little bit hectic, but please, share it with us.
No, I'm curious if the article has been disproved or whether it's actually accurate. But how much is the ring? How much did you spend?
Yeah, we got a text in here. Someone says, I buy my missus a whole bag of rings for like $3. Burger rings for the win. That's Prince Charming right there, but also a delicious chip.
You did get excited about it off air, Davo. Don't lie.
Find a new hobby. Someone else said here, $300 rings, and they've been married 10 years next April.
There you go.
Very well done.
Somebody else is texting in here saying they can't get on the phones because they've just gotten to work, but we bought my husband's ring for $9.95 off eBay. That's $9.95. And we've been together for 10 years in March. The only way he's getting rid of me is in a wooden box. Jess. Thanks for getting involved, Jess.
Is that a threat or a promise?
Take it how you will.
Someone else said, I think $1,000, around $1,000. Can't remember exactly, but she didn't like it anyway. I exchanged it for another one. It was fine with me after all. She's the one who has to wear it.
There you go.
Fair enough.
We've got Jack on the line. Jack, how much did you spend on the ring, mate?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Okay. When you say nothing,
Oh, it was my it was my mother's ring, and they've since upgraded, so they passed it over to me, and I gave it to her, and we're going to be spending most of our money on the honeymoon. So
nice.
Cool. And what's the plan for the honeymoon then?
We're going to Brazil, so she's Brazilian.
Beautiful. Very nice.
So yeah, it'll be really, really good.
So Jack,
I'm not married yet, by the way. I'm getting married in April. So
how long have you guys been together so far?
4 years.
Okay,
Nice.
it's going
That's
all
a
right.
decent
Not too
job.
bad.
Well, Jack, as the study said, people who spend more on their honeymoon are more likely to last, so you're onto something there.
I think I am, yes, definitely.
Good luck,
Good
Jack.
on you, mate, and congratulations for your wedding next April.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
Cheers.
So funny. You said congratulations and I said good luck.
There you go. 2 peas in a pod. Hey, Fev, how much did you spend on the ring, mate?
My partner spent probably about 700.
700.
okay.
Very good.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, how long have you been together? Is it still going well?
Yeah, we've been together about 6 years and we have a beautiful son. So, yeah, it's going really well.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
Cool. And how was the honeymoon? Was there a lot more money put on that as opposed to the wedding?
We're yet to get married,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
we're actually going to be eloping
Ooh, okay.
secretly and then announcing it at our engagement party.
Oh, lovely. Well, congratulations. That's very exciting, Fev.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, Fev. Thanks for getting involved. $700. Okay, so a little bit more higher up on the price of nothing.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we've got. Dion, can you wrap this up? How much did you spend on the ring?
Oh, well, I got a two-part story. So mine started. So I did 5K for the first starter, and then my wife stayed with me for 10 years, and then I spent 20K for an upgrade.
Ooh, okay, so after all that time, what was the need for the upgrade? How come you wanted to spend a bit more money?
Keep
She
her
was
around.
just worth it. Yeah, you know it, Davo. You know what? She hung around for 10 years with this guy. She deserves a bigger rock than that.
Oh, so it's still going well, Dion.
Yeah, it's still 13 years in.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
So, Dion, another 10 years, are you upgrading another 20K or?
Hell no.
Cap it out there.
All right. I get older. The Davo, Tom, and Callum podcast stays the same age.
You're hanging out with Davo, Tom, and Callum, a group of people that probably don't date all that much here on the show, right?
Jeez.
What a slogan.
I mean, I think that is my tagline.
That's what
Check
I
my
have.
Instagram out.
That's what I have on my Tinder bio.
That's going to be on the next bus stop.
Yeah.
They don't date that much. And we do sure talk about dating quite a lot on the show.
Which is interesting, isn't
Experts.
it?
Yeah, it is an interesting idea of ours. But the reason we talk about dating so much, we love learning about these latest dating trends. You know, the ones you see on TikTok or Instagram. There's a new one every other week, and sometimes one will catch your eye and you'll be like, what the hell is this?
It's nice to read about it and not experience it.
Yeah. Well, Davo, this one, I hope you don't experience this one, because
Okay.
the latest dating trend, well, it will confirm, I'm sure, many suspicions from a lot of women. And it's not great for them either. It's called the penny method.
Mm-hmm.
It's been described as boy math. It's similar to love bombing, but I'm going to run you through how this works.
Okay.
So basically, you got to imagine a girl is a piggy bank.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I've been called that before.
you know it's a pretty out there dating trend when it starts with starts with objectification.
Once again, I am reading off an article here.
Your
This
blog.
is, yeah. Off my hand, I've written notes.
This is from your TED talk,
All
right?
Sorry, so picture a woman as a piggy bank.
Yeah. Picture them as a piggy bank. Once again, quoting here. You have to start off with a few hundreds to get them interested and hooked. But, you know, that's not ethical to keep that up. You can't keep putting hundreds in. It's just not going to work forever. So you got to drop that down to 90, you know, which is, you know, a bit less effort, bit less money. But it's only like 10% less effort, right?
Yeah, but it keeps you sort of missing that 10% though as the woman, as the piggy bank.
So it'll be noticeable, sure. But the way the article describes, she would be crazy to say anything at this point. It's only 10%.
Yeah.
So you're guilting her into, you know, not having the suspicion there that why would I complain over 10%? It must be fine. I should still be on 100, right?
That's leaving a message without the kiss at the end. Like something like that, real small.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you're going to want to do next is something a little bit crazy. You're going to bump that right back up to 95.
Oh, okay.
Right? So then she thinks she's gained 5% more effort. She's like, I'm getting through.
Yeah.
I'm getting through. It's working. You know, had a bad month, whatever. So therefore, I guess you're kind of gaslighting these women into thinking you're putting in more effort when full well you know you're not. And then paving the way for your future, what you want to do is just keep this up. Keep going down 10, up 5, down 10, up 5. So you're at a spot you're comfortable with.
Oh. I have experienced this.
And once you have a similar methodical mind like, I don't know, Ted Bundy, I think, if you're doing this knowingly, you're definitely psychotic.
It's definitely a bit psycho. I would hate to think that there's blokes out there using a full graph on Excel to work this one out.
But so is it just teetering between that 90 to 95? Surely they're going to take that back.
So once you're at 95, then you go down 10 again, you're down to 85, you put it up 5 to 90, 10 down again, 80, 85, so on and so on.
Until you're depleted to nothing and everyone's sad.
Nothing until the guy is comfortable with what position he's paying, I guess.
And the woman is left wanting more and more. Jeez, no wonder we don't date. This sounds horrendous.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
Boys, we need to have a chat about Snoop Dogg, the D-O-double-G himself. Forgot what he said.
Like you got a little stump there.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, the D-O-double-G.
That's him. Last week he came out with a statement that absolutely shook the world. He came out and said, after much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. Please respect my privacy at this time.
Can you imagine, there was that article that we talked about ages ago, and it was saying how Snoop Dogg has a professional blunt roller, a guy that's designated every day to roll, his stuff.
Just before Christmas, out of a job.
Imagine being made redundant from that.
And he was getting $150 a day, US dollars a day to do that. That's not bad.
I picture Snoop in a board meeting with him, and the guy's just like, come on, Snoop, it's me. Like, just keep me on. I got a wife and kids. It's Christmas coming up.
Well, at the time, it was obviously suspected that he was giving it up for his favourite pastime to spend more time with his family and grandkids. However, he's come out and said, lol, jokes. I'm not giving up the smoke.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I mean, I never believed it anyway when he said he wasn't going to do it. I feel like that man would have crazy withdrawals that no human could, be able to combat. The guy's been doing it for, 50 years probably?
It was all a tactic to sort of get your attention because, of course, he was promoting the Solo Stove campaign, which is a smoke-free barbecue.
Right, okay. So all a bit of a marketing ploy.
Okay.
So he was sitting back, laughing, still doing his stuff while everyone was in a craze.
Smoking.
Thinking that he wasn't going to smoke anymore.
Yeah, can you believe it? I mean, as you said, his blunt roller would be absolutely relieved to hear the news.
100% sweats off the forehead.
Christmas is back on, baby.
I was going to say, do you reckon any of his friends are calling him up like, Snoop, are you okay, man? Like, we heard the bad news. Like, what's going on?
Poor bloke.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.